Well, hello there, everybody. So, obviously today we are going to be taking that bad boy off today. We're going to find out what's in behind there, why she's humming like no other, and yeah, we'll go from there. You're going to need a 13 mil. I've got my little jug here. You can pick these up at Canadian Tire for like 25, 30 bucks, pretty sure. I've got about 3 or 4 of these. And then that little bad boy to make the job easier, and then obviously your pry tool. So, yeah, let's pull this bad boy off. Pow! Alrighty, so we got them all out. Had to switch to kind of a little bit of a bigger gun. But let's find out what this shit looks like. Oh, those douchers. Oh, Dad might have to grab a bigger pry bar. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Un momento, por favor. Ay, ay. Oh, that's... Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That definitely has been done before. But that ain't looking pretty. That's pretty black. So yeah. So that's off. We're just gonna let her drain out, and then we're gonna tackle the rest of them. Here we go. Oh yeah. Alrighty, Roo. So we got the diff cover off, and here it is. Now there are 2 different ways you can do this, and a good friend of mine, Casey Ward, pointed this out to me that I can do kind of a side to side on what you guys would rather do. Now, obviously, this side, as you can see, this is not supposed to be here. This is gasketed. Now, it wasn't leaking or anything. It was just making a humming noise. That's why I had it removed. So there was nothing wrong there. But as you can see how messy it is, and you know, if you do it wrong, you can actually get some of it inside of the diff, like if you don't let it sit. And then you go for a drive, you've got this stuff sitting inside of your diff, and it makes an absolute mess. Now, you can also, as what I've done here, you can do this route, which is a paper gasket. Now, some people, I know this sounds goofy, but some people also just dabble a little bit of gasket maker on here. Now, for me, I've never had a problem with just putting these on, tightening down the proper way, obviously star pattern, and away it goes, and it's actually does fine. And then when you take it off to do your normal maintenance, you don't have to sit here for a half an hour to an hour scrubbing this and all of the mess that it has made under here. Now, the last differential that I've pulled apart was absolutely, if anyone has been around me for the past 4.5 years, you might have seen the picture of my last pickup truck. It's diff. But in here, there's no scarring on the teeth or anything like that. And when I say that, let's see if I can get this to hang here, right here. So now, when I say that, what you're looking for is obviously you're looking for metal shavings. You're looking for scarring on the inside of these teeth. Now, again, and what I can see is there's nothing terrible looking. My last one, there was shavings everywhere, and it just was not fun. This fluid is definitely almost like water. I will be putting Lucas in with this as well, as you might have seen while I was showing the video up there. And yeah, once we get it all back together, I will take a video and hopefully it fixes our problem. Make sure everything's in here copacetic, and away we go. Yeah. Okay, so here we are. We've got the diff fluid changed out. I went and grabbed some fuel for it. Thing sounds great, doesn't hum anymore. I also did, like I said, throw some of that Lucas and stuff in there, which made it thicken up a little bit more. Sorry, just wipe my camera off a little bit here. But upon filling up my truck, I had noticed that my gas gauge, while I was sitting down, as you can see, my driveway's got a little bit of an incline. I think my floater had gotten stuck. And my problem is that every single time I turned on my frickin' truck, my gas gauge would go right to zero. Immediately would go right to zero, even after I went and got gas. So I just went back here, and conveniently, the guys who owned this thing before me, this was not me, just so you know. As you can see, there's a little mat. You Chevy guys know what's about to happen next. Surprise! they cut a little hole back here so you can get to your fuel pump. Now, conveniently for me, it worked out awesome, because actually what had happened was, because the truck was so low on fuel, I had not put fuel in it since I purchased it. That was the first time I did it. It was stuck. The floater was stuck on empty. So I just grabbed my old trusty hander-dander hammer and smacked around here a couple times, and lo and behold, the old buddy came right back. So, if you guys ever have a problem like that, just give your fuel pump a little smack. Sometimes it's other things. I obviously troubleshooted. I disconnected all that stuff and pulled the ground off and multimetered all of them. They were still getting power. I didn't just immediately think of that. I wish I would have, so I didn't do all that stuff, but whatever. Also, I did dodge a video on you guys, and I really apologize for it. I made some little bits of it, but it didn't really work out well for me, because there was just... somebody had gone in here before, and they had bolts loosened and missing and stuff, but I had gone in ahead and changed out my power steering in the pickup. So what ended up happening is that bolt right there that you guys can see right beside the pump at the back, none of that stuff comes off. There's actually two bolts at the back. One's a half hook, so you just loosen the bolt off about 5 or 6 turns and she comes right out. And then the other one that was missing is, again, just the same thing, just kind of a half hook, and you just kind of slide it right on in there and it goes on in. And then in behind the pulley there, if you guys can see just that one, there's 3 of those bad boys. And what I ended up having to go do there was I went and bought a pulley extractor and installer, which was extremely convenient for me because it made my job go by so much freaking faster. But this here's the extractor. If I ever get a chance to use it again, or I can actually show you guys if anyone's interested in it, show you guys how to quickly install it, pull it off, and put it back on. A lot of people, like, that would have been not a very fun word if I would have had to do that myself. So, that being said, the next thing on the truck, since I've already done the diff, is I need to do tires. And my pitman and idler arm on this thing are a little bit loose, so I'm going to be taking a little bit more of a gander at that. And, yeah, we're going to go from there. I'm probably going to put a new windshield and stuff in the truck. The funny thing is that I have actually convinced myself I'm probably going to end up keeping this one. Just because, you know, like, I can get cheap fenders, cheap hood. This thing runs and drives like an absolute dream. The interior is absolutely immaculate. Like, there's no rips, tears, anything. Like, there's a little bit of scratch on the glove box there. But other than that, yeah, it's a perfect little unit, full AC, all that stuff. I've got to get all that hooked up. We'll do a sweet little video of that as well. And yeah, we'll just take a gander at this back here. As you can see, like I said, I don't have a problem with the gasket that I usually install on these. They don't really tend to leak unless you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, there you have it. The old diff cover cleaned up, put back on. I actually didn't really show you guys how I cleaned it. All I really used was a oh gosh, where did it go? I used a X-Acto blade. I'm not quite sure where that thing disappeared to. I think it might be over in the toolbox. And just my handy dandy wire brushes. Those things come in handy. Always make sure I grabbed like 4 sets of wire brushes for like $25 at one of my brother's part stores that he goes to. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think of the videos, comments, feedback. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, whatever it is. And yeah, on to the next task for the day.